Feeling like an outsider in my own family, drained from being dismissed and forgotten, I finally hit my breaking point and walked away from home. Can you imagine the woman you love, the mother of your children, looking at you after completely forgetting your birthday and Father's Day and then asking, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have sex." That was the moment something inside me utterly shattered. For years, I felt like an outsider in my own home. Not just with my kids but with my wife too. We've been married for 15 years, known each other since we were 8, and we have 3 beautiful daughters, 17, 14, and 11. But lately I was just the ATM. The taxi service. A ghost. My wife hadn't kissed me in 6 months. She hadn't said "I love you" in over a year and a half. No matter how much I tried to communicate, to plan something, to do something, it was always shot down, forgotten, or just casually dismissed. And I'm not a yeller, I don't get angry easily. I pour my heart into splurging for birthdays, Mother's Day, throwing parties, buying gifts, just trying to show them how much I care. And what I'd get in return? A lukewarm "thanks," and if I was lucky, a side hug so brief it was like a glitch in the Matrix. This past week though, it all came to a head. It started on Father's Day. I woke up to an empty house. No note. Nothing on the calendar. Not a word beforehand. I sent a text and the reply I got back was, "Took the girls for a spa day. Don't wait up." Then silence. Crushing silence. Dinner time rolled around and they finally came home. I asked how their day was. It was fine. I asked what they wanted for dinner. Nothing, we already ate at one of your favorite restaurants. My heart just sank. Not a single mention of Father's Day. Not an "I love you," not a "how are you." Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday. My birthday. Again, literally nothing. I suggested plans, they were shot down. Food. No. A movie? Too busy, they said while scrolling endlessly on their phones. Then came Thursday night. I was in bed. My wife was next to me and she rolled over and delivered that gut punch line, in the crappiest tone you can imagine. "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have sex." Emotional beat, quiet fury/despair. That was it. Everything snapped. I looked at her and the words just came out. "No," I said, my voice barely a whisper but laced with something I didn't recognize. "I don't expect sex. At this point, I don't expect anything anymore." She paused. What is that supposed to mean? And then it all spilled out. When was the last time we shared a kiss? A real kiss? She tried to guess. Like a week ago? I corrected her. No. December. At your parents' holiday party. When was the last time we had sex? She was adamant it was February. Wrong, I said, the pain in my voice growing. It's been over a year. I reminded her gently that I was dealing with my mom's health, and then her passing. You may have had sex, I told her, but it wasn't with me. When was the last time you said you loved me? I say it all the time. Not to me. Check your messages. You don't say it to my face. Well, you should just know I do. When was the last time we went on a date? There was a long, awkward pause. Then she had the nerve to say, "You're being unfair." Unfair? My emotions fully turned on. Tears were streaming down my face, my voice rising, trembling. I asked her, how is it unfair to want any sign of love from anyone in this house? How is it unfair to expect anything for my birthday or Father's Day? And then I saw it. That, oh shit look on her face. Yeah, she'd forgotten that too. I wasn't an ATM. I wasn't a taxi service. I wasn't a punching bag. She asked why this was coming up out of the blue. It wasn't. I tried to talk to them over and over only to be dismissed. To be ignored. I gave examples. She just kept saying, I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal. Emotional beat, the breaking point, the escape, I couldn't take it anymore. I left saying something like, if you want to pretend I'm invisible and don't exist, fine. You don't have to pretend anymore. I walked out of the house at almost midnight. I haven't been home since. I ended up driving around. Drank for the first time in over 15 years just trying to numb the crushing pain. I'm sober now, finally able to think. And honestly, I was in a dark, dark place. I started thinking maybe they'd be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. If I'm truly the problem, then me not being there should fix it, right? I tried to be a good provider, a good partner, a good dad. Never missed an event. Never prioritized work over them. I worked hard to give them a better life. But it was never appreciated. Never enough. I was never enough. My wife sent one text. Just one. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That was it. No other messages, no calls. Nothing from the kids. If they really wanted me there, wouldn't they try harder? They all have phones. Emotional beat, glitch of hope, tough love, but something stopped me from going further down that dark path. It sounds weird, but it was like I could hear my youngest, my 11-year-old. She's always been the one who made me feel loved, wanted, cared for. Even as my wife was pushing them to give me space, my youngest kept pushing them to reach out to find me. She just had a weird feeling. That's when I finally told my therapist how close I came to ending things. That changed everything in our sessions. I'm getting better tools to deal with these dark emotions. My wife, to her credit, committed to individual therapy, and I started to see small changes. Things were moving in a more positive direction. We finally met up after she'd kept trying to reach out. She'd apparently planned the 4th of July as a surprise birthday party for me, to make up for forgetting. She said I ruined it by not coming home. When we did meet to talk, she brought the kids. I was happy to see them, they seemed happy to see me. But I'd explicitly asked to talk alone. The kids missed you, she said. It's fine, we can talk with them here. Another example of my feelings being ignored, my requests cast aside. I told her I acknowledged her apologies, but I didn't accept them. They felt hollow. I'm sorry you feel that way, isn't an apology. I told her that she was setting an example for our daughters, showing them how I should be treated in relationships. No one deserves that. My 14-year-old took my 11-year-old for snacks, but my 17-year-old stayed. I looked my wife dead in the eye and flat out asked, "Is there anyone else? Are you cheating physically, emotionally, or otherwise?" She looked like I'd slapped her. I would never do that, she insisted. I pressed her on why she was so adamant we'd had sex in February when it had been so much longer. Why had every part of our romance died from her side? She didn't know. Emotional beat, the ultimatum, the breakthrough. After another 20 minutes, I pulled out 2 folders. One was for separation documents, not quite divorce but halfway there. The other? Therapist referrals, for individuals and for couples. I needed her to understand how serious I was. I told her she had to decide what she wanted, but that I was done living this way. If she chose to stay, things were going to change fundamentally. I love the woman I married, the one I had kids with, the one I built a life with, I said, but I don't know where she went. My kids came back and my 11-year-old was mad I wasn't going back with them that night. I gave my wife time. The next day she called. She'd made appointments for herself and for us. Individual therapy for her, couples therapy for us. Emotional beat, the truth, the raw emotion. The therapy sessions were slow, a long road. But the third one, that was a SHT show. I had just opened up to my individual therapist about my self-harm thoughts, how close I'd come. So, in our joint session, I decided to be completely vulnerable. I told them everything, how close I came, what was in my head, what stopped me. My wife looked at me, a look of horror, and then she started yelling. "How could you be so selfish?" she kept repeating. The therapist calmed her down. And I kept talking. I went deeper. I told her how badly she and the kids had hurt me. How there was no way she didn't know about Father's Day or my birthday. How I still suspected cheating. How the dark thoughts started after my mom passed and my wife stopped being my wife. I don't know what happened to her. The woman I loved disappeared. She's been gone for a while. That loving, playful, honest, trustworthy partner? The love of my life? She's a stranger now. I just unloaded everything. The therapist called a break. I walked out fuming. I probably looked childish, immature. But when I cooled down, I saw a bunch of missed calls and texts. My 17-year-old daughter ended up picking me up, since my car was at home. It was the first time she'd ever seen me actively cry. I think that's when she finally understood the weight that was crushing me. How much their actions had caused me pain. We just sat there, parked somewhere, and talked. For a long, long while. I got more out of that one conversation than I had in years. When we got back home, my other 2 kids ran to me, hugging me tight. Not the side hug glitch, but real full-body hugs. Felt so good. My wife approached me slowly, asking for a hug too. I gave her half of one and she started crying. Later that night, my wife wanted to talk. She admitted she thought she was losing me around the time my mom passed, that I had checked out of our marriage. She said she's still working through things, but she broke down. She said she truly didn't know how bad it was. She's sorry. And she vowed to do anything to make it up to me, to be a better partner. Conclusion, reflection, and call to action. She is trying. I see improvement. But why did it have to get to this point? Why did I have to break so completely for any of this to finally matter? Sometimes I'm so numb that I question everything. Is she truly sorry, or are these just empty words again? My therapist says I've been playing a character for so long, I don't know how to be myself anymore. I need to find that person first. My wife and I did go on a date she planned. Was fun. I genuinely smiled. But in the back of my mind, a little voice kept asking, was this for me? Or for us? Time will tell. Have you ever felt so utterly invisible in your own home, in your own relationship? Or had a moment where you realized you absolutely had to draw a line in the sand no matter how scary? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd really love to hear your thoughts and experiences.